Hey everybody, it's Jen. I started another round. Let's see, I'm on VLCD number 7. Technically 8 because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, but yes, we keep a weird schedule. But we're about to go to bed. Say hi.
Hi, baby.
Hi, baby. Anyway, started another round. Kind of odd that I didn't vlog about it. Been busy. When I loaded, I gained like 7 pounds, which has never happened for me. I don't remember exactly, but it was like, my usual is 4 or 5 pounds. And last round I actually lost weight, which was really weird, but I've heard it happen before, so I wasn't too weirded out. But anyway, I actually got up to 206.8. Ouch. My LIW from the last round was 191.4, so I was pretty upset, to put it lightly. But you know what? You soldier on, right? And I've actually done the best I've ever done. Every round is better and better. It's kind of weird that way, but I'm 195.8, so I'm still above my LIW by 4.4 pounds. But I'm keeping on. I had my usual hunger, days 2, 3, a little bit of 4. And on day 5, I gave my usual sigh of relief, but you know, when you start expecting things go different. And I had a horrible day yesterday. I was so hungry. And today I'm great. So I guess it was just a quirk. I don't know. One of those things. Anyway, I'm doing well. I might or might not have to take an interruption. We might or might not take a 5-day break trip type thing. I want to take the trip, but then my husband has an interview coming up, and we don't know if that's going to lead anywhere, and I'd rather that happen, so cross your fingers. We need a change. We do. Oh, I whacked off my hair. Yeah, actually my husband whacked off my hair. Which is, don't you play with my mouse, girl. And that's nice. It was 1.5 ounces, so you can imagine how long it was. Yes, I weighed it. Anyway, I only have one thing to talk about today. Stop it! You know, the more rounds you do, the less you have to talk about. I don't know why that is. But anyway, I made something today, and I've been doing it for a long time because I come from the low-carb world. Crazy girl. Get away from my computer. Anyway, and I realized a lot of hHCGers might not know about it. So, what it is a very low-calorie gravy, and it's really good. Basically, you take your 100 grams of steak. I've also done it with pork, not on hHCG, but I've done it with pork. And I think it would work with chicken. I'm going to try it this week, but I'm not much of a chicken eater. I only really, anyway. I eat a lot of chicken on hHCG though, so I'm going to try it. But anyway, you take your piece of steak, your 100 grams, you stick it in the skillet. She's going crazy. You fry the steak on both sides until there's brown bits on it, and it's still going to be raw in the middle because there's no fat to fry it in. And then you put in a half to a 3/4 cup of beef broth in it. I use reduced sodium, and it's plenty salty in the end. And then you put in your vegetable too. Depending on what vegetable you use is going to depend on how long you want to cook it. I usually use asparagus, but tomatoes or onions is really good too. And so I put my asparagus spears in there, and I cook it until the asparagus is done. Not very long, it's like 5 minutes. And then I also put my seasonings in there, my garlic and the black pepper and a little bit of liquid smoke and things like that, whatever you season with. I've used Tony Chachere's too, but you gotta watch out because it's salty. And then at the end, when everything's cooked through and you're ready to be done and you want your boiling broth in there to be thick like gravy, and you really have to use broth because it doesn't taste good with just water. The broth is what gives it the meaty gravy flavor. So then you put what's called guar gum on it. You can also use xanthan gum, Xanthan. They're just about the same thing. All it is fiber, 100% fiber. It says 5 calories for half a teaspoon. I use maybe a fourth of a teaspoon, so I mean we're talking 2.5 calories. It says 1 carbohydrate, but then it says it's 1 fiber also, so I'm not even sure if that's where the 5 calories come from. It's nothing. It's fiber, really. It's like it's gonna pass right through you. Anyway, you take this, and all it is a white powder, and you put it in an old spice shaker, so that you can sprinkle it in. See, with the holes, so you can sprinkle it over your pan. Just made a mess. Over your pan, over your I kind of usually push the food to the side and then sprinkle and then tilt the pan so that all the broth goes to one end of the skillet, and I sprinkle it over the entire surface of it. Not a lot, a very thin coating, and stir it in real quick. If you don't use the shaker, it can clump and you'll have little white clumps in it, and it's not good. But just shake it, stir it a little bit, and then wait for a minute, minute and a half. Watch it, and it'll start thickening because it takes a little bit to soak up the broth, a little bit of time. And you end up with instant gravy. It's amazing. And if you have more liquid than, then soaks it all. If it's still kind of liquidy, just sprinkle it again and wait another minute and a half or whatever, and eventually you'll end up with gravy. Don't overdo it though. Do a little bit at a time until you kind of understand how much it soaks up, because you'll end up with meat jello, which is, to borrow a phrase, not good eats. So I've done that before. It's kind of funny. Anyway, it's absolutely fantastic, and it only, if you use half a cup of broth, it's like, including the 2.5 calories, it's like 7.5 calories. So anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. If I could take my webcam into the kitchen, I'd show you how I make it, but it's kind of stuck to my computer. So anyway, love you all. Talk to y'all later.